We had a nice day today. We did not end in a win. We ended up at break even or basically a small loss, but it was a good day overall despite, and we are grateful for that. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode in my daily journal. And yeah, we had a break even day today. I took a few trades. I think I took two trades overall, and this was the result. I ended the day down $25, which is good, and can't complain about it. And I'm very proud of how I handled the day. I just took my one trade and I just got off the charts after. So I can show you here. This was the trade. Um, these few trades. So um it was these three trades. So I entered at first and got stopped out, and I re-entered after with my normal size, and I basically closed the trade prematurely, and it resulted in that small loss that we had there. So let's get onto the charts and show you how we actually executed those trades. So my bias overall was bullish. I wanted the buys. We had gapped up overnight, and I wanted to see how far we would run. Going into the market, I was a bit hesitant to be honest, because when I was looking at price action, we opened with a large gap from the overnight open, and then we continued up, and then pre-market going into the 9:30 open, we started to buy up again. Now, I took my trades after the 9:30 open. I think it's that my first trade was after 10, because I was watching and I'm saying, maybe I'm not going to trade today. No? Maybe I'm not going to find a setup because we already run up and I'm not interested in taking any sales. That was my mindset. I was bullish because the higher time frame is up. Trump made a deal, or supposedly they came to agreement, so this conflict can be resolved, which honestly I don't trust it, but the market is reacting positively to it, and therefore I have to react just the same. Now, the first entry that I took was right here. I took a buy. This is a 2 minute time frame. This is my execution time frame. I alter between it and the 1 minute. And this was my first entry. I took this buy with a rather wider stop. I honestly had the stop below here. I was risking about $50 because I had the stop tighter, and then I move it down to here because I realized I have to give this trade a little bit of room to breathe, because it was a pullback, and it wasn't a deep retracement. Honestly, if the market had did the down move before we did the up move, it would have been good. So if we had came down like this, came into a higher time frame PDRA, and then continued down, it would have been greater to get my entry inside of here, catching the expansion. But the move was after we had this large breakout right here. So we had a big push up, this big push up here, and I did not like that. But I was trusting this down close candle right here. First this one, and then this one. I was saying if it violate this one, then I'm going to be done for the day, and I'm going to wait for another setup. So I put the stop below this one, and I got wicked out right there because I decided I'm not going to widen it anymore. But I could. So I got stopped out, and then I re-entered after we got um another bullish bullish signature. So we traded down after the 10 o'clock because I thought this would have been enough of a manipulation. Because sometimes we get a manipulation at 10, sometimes we just continue up, depending on how bullish the market is and what kind of profile. So I should have trusted this down close candle, the fact that we came into the fair value gap before, and I should have just trusted that one. Should have just trusted this. So I entered not the cleanest of entry because I did not wait for the candle to close. Because honestly, I was chasing it at that point in time. The macro was over, and I'm saying this thing looked like it want to break out. I jumped in right there, and then when I saw it came down, I re-entered again. I'm saying, okay, I'm going to just set my stop below here. If it stopped me out, I think I was risking like $250 at that point in time. I said, if it stopped me out, then I'm done. But honestly, I just wanted to about here, and I would have gotten my basically half a percent or 1% actually, my $500, and I would have been done with this challenge. But we came here and we started to reject again, and I'm saying, you know what? Let me just close it, and I should have closed at the high because up here I was up 100 and about 30 something dollars, but I was already down $60, and I should have just closed up here. But by the time I make up my mind to actually close, it already pulled back down to here, and I just say, you know what, let me just close. I just close it. I saw that we came down here, and I'm saying, you know what, this thing looks a little bit tricky. Let me just call it a day. But we ended up respecting this same down close candle right here, and it took us a while before we finally broke out. Right around 10:50, so closer to the next macro. I should have just held on a little bit longer and just left the stops. But remember, guys, for me, work starts right here. So I am literally distracted. I can't focus. I have to be taking calls and I'm focusing on my next laptop. So I have to be careful what I'm doing. Plus, what I'm doing isn't the correct thing because I'm not supposed to be trading distracted, neither am I supposed to be even on the laptop like that. So the quicker I can be done, then it's better for me. But I had gotten the entry before, so honestly, I should have just left it with the stops down here and wait for it to break out because I would have passed the challenge. But nevertheless, I tighten up the risk management and I love how I ended the day, and I'm grateful that I did not result in a large loss, and it came out like how it did. So a little bit regretful knowing that the outcome played out after I closed, but nevertheless, it's still a good day, you know. So I would have caught my 100 and odd pips right here. Would have been 100 and odd pips. Um, so from this high to say right here, this would have been 103 pips, 103 points, and this would have been 200 and say $250 plus this one right here would have been say 200 and say 50 again to up here. But I'm sure I would have closed once I see it at the highs here, and I would have maybe made like 400 and something dollars from those two entries. And you know, it would have been a good day, but I'm just being patient because I know I'm going past it. I just need to remain focused and disciplined, and just let the trades play out. So that is how we executed today. For the rest of the day, we just kind of just ranged out, and there were some scalps, but nothing to write home about. So let's review the higher time frame. Um, so as I said, we open with a gap similar to last week. Open with a gap up pretty close to all-time highs again, but I don't know how high we're going. Um, this gap up create a big new week opening gap, but we have no manipulation on this weekly candle. So maybe at some point in time, if this news, this narrative holds up, then this gap could remain open, or later down in the week we could reverse, fill the gap and continue up. But the targets to the upside are pretty decent as well, because we could run this high and continue up, because today strong close about let me see, This is 600 points, and if you measure from where we closed Friday, this is pretty much 1,000 points, 900 and odd points to the highs there. So all-time highs is literally less than 100 points away from where we are at, and we could easily get there. Well, it's actually 250 points, but not much to get to all-time highs right there. So yeah, I was looking for us to maybe trade back down into this down close candle, this order block on the daily time frame, or even this right here. But let us see if we actually get that same type of move on um US 500 and similar move on US 30. So this one is actually at all time highs. We actually running up pretty strong right now at all time highs. So let us see if this will be sustained, but this look like the strongest one at the moment. Going down now to the 1 hour time frame right here. 1 hour time frame. Like I said, open up with a gap. I could have taken an entry from down here, but I was just watching to see what we're going to do. I didn't like the fact that we gapped up so wide. Thought I would have pulled back a little bit more, but I just watched. And by the time I was preparing for bed here, I saw us kind of just consolidating. And I'm saying, you know what? I'm going to just leave it because I'm not going to use a wide stop and try to chase this thing. So I missed out on all of this run up. London session pretty much sideways, and as soon as the New York open, we end up running up from pre-market and consolidating after the 11, 12 o'clock time there. So the best trades would have came in on the 15 minutes time frame. Let me zoom out. The best trades would have came in maybe if you found a way to get an entry inside of here or maybe inside of here. Those were the best entries. During this part, you would have been caught in the consolidation and missed out on the breakout. A little bit after this would have been, this was my entry right here. So the pullback that I got and I was attempting to buy was inside of this fair value gap test right here. So I didn't like even this candle open right here. And the fact that we closed this candle so strong, I could have trusted that we would have held on to this candle and trust the buy up. But yeah, I didn't. I kind of just fumbled that. But the way your NQ is moving, you just have to take your little piece and leave. If you stay here for the whole entire day, especially when you're building an account and all of that, trying to stay disciplined, you're going to get chopped up and you're going to give up the gains. So, missed out on this part right here and missed out on all of this expansion to the upside. But regardless, we did good and I'm grateful. So, if I should go down on the lower time frame from trading view, you can see how the macros did throughout. So the best one came in around 6 a.m. during the pre-market session. You could have gotten an entry right there and you could have held that for the entire day. Um, right around 8:30 to 9, you could have gotten an entry inside of here as well. And I don't see anything too clean in here. Inside of here at midnight, there was an entry. 10 a.m. did not really do much, and I did not like this part right here. It kind of happened outside of the macro, and we did not even pull back into anything significant for us to consider entering. So those were the best trades. Here, as I said, this was just kind of tricky. If you look at it on the 1 minute, it's just kind of tricky before we broke out to the upside. And then, like I said, the volume just dried up right around lunchtime. Soon as it made this high, this was pretty much the high of the day, and we just consolidate for the rest of the time going into the close. So that is how we did today. and we'll see how tomorrow shows up. But that is it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.